Yeah.
You're home?
Yeah.
And Papa too?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on my way to bring the service, huh?
Okay.
Okay,
Take it.
you're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
Alright, to my future selves, basically what happened was, Daddy's bringing home pesto sandwiches. Bro, okay, bro, we get it, bro. We have nothing left. Not locked. Fuck! It's okay. Deep breath. try hard, man. I'm trying to have a good time. Alright, just forget about it and move on, you know?
For Renee as well, y'all.
Sustained energy. Now in cookies and cream flavor. Flip bar. Because stuff happens. Join AAA today. It wasn't high right now, it's soulful. Soulful. Yeah. Roy Hargrove Quintet on KPLU.
Bro, give me a fucking. Oh gosh. I'm dead, man. Yeah, man. Where should I go? Straight. Oh, come on. Oh, please.
to get our lowest rates. Why are you in my house?
I'm obsessed with this Olay Hyaluronic Body Wash. With vitamin B3 complex, it's really...
It's Esperanza Spalding live on 88.5 KPLU. Take it away.
Oh. When are you gonna be on the way, bro?
10 minutes.
Fuck. Oh. Ah.
had some good questions in here. We got a lot of questions in here. I think yeah, like 24 good ones. Usually I scan through and just kind of screenshot kind of a variety. Just so I don't have to sit here scrolling and say, yeah, okay, who would win in a PR contest? Me or the Riddler? Scroll to Vegas, There's a couple trolling comments, but honestly, a lot of them are always reasonably like deep and solid. So let's start with number one from Luke and yurrr. Tips for mind muscle connection. Biceps. The chest tip about pulling your arms off of your chest is game changing. So I think the people who actually get results, and I feel like I've said this exact speech like a million times, but I feel like it warrants mention for sure, no matter how many times I say it. But the people who actually make results and get gains, make moves, they're the guys who not only train hard and consistently, that's the fucking biggest aspect there is. Whether or not you got good relationships, a good training style, or less than optimal training style, you're never going to get shit if you're not doing this shit on a consistent basis for a long term time frame. But the people who can get a training style or a routine, not even a training style, but just can get themselves into a routine that they actually like, that they can actually kind of stick with, then honestly, that's a pretty big part of the puzzle right there. We've all got a pretty reasonable potential to get good at kind of anything. I think if I dropped everything right now, bodybuilding wise, and I tried to become a fucking, I don't know, what other cool endeavors are there out there? If I tried to fucking shrink down and become a professional, like, X Games style snowboarder, if that was my deal, I think I could do it. And I think with enough practice, anybody could fucking do that shit. But that's not my deal. I probably don't want to do that. So even though we've all got a reasonable potential to do whatever, I think the people who can sort of, and this may just be luck, but if you can match a little bit of your latent ability with something that you become passionate about, then right there, this is the fuel, this is the spark. And it's fucking killer. I think I may have at least gotten a little bit of that, because I feel like a total, what's the word I'm trying to think of here? Oh, just a fucking gym rat. I've never had a problem going in every day for the last like 5 fucking years just because I love it. But I think I also have pretty good genetics. So those two things in tandem, it's fucking badass. So this is one thing which kind of, I'm tapering towards the end of the talk, though. This won't go on forever. But this is one thing that it does upset me a little bit. I mean, maybe I think upset's a pretty good word. Due to, well, not dudes, I guess anybody. I haven't checked, but I'm pretty sure the female viewership percentage is still at like 4.something%. But, people who don't have something which they like doing on a consistent basis, like, I mean, an everyday fucking, even just hobby level, even just something that they can kind of work at and get better at or just enjoy doing, that doesn't revolve around just like, going out and having fun, going to work, going to school, and isn't just like pure entertainment. I don't think 2 hours of young Sheldon does not count as a hobby. You're not really, I don't know if you're really progressing. You're not going to become the world's best young Sheldon if you are. And then just as a little anecdote, I think young Sheldon's pretty fucking funny. I just use it as a overall, encompassing show to represent wasting time watching TV. But if you don't have something which you can just do on your own because you enjoy it and you enjoy doing it, then I think you're missing out, man. Everybody needs something. So I guess that's kind of, it's a little bit pretentious for me to say, like, oh, just pick something that you like doing. But if you feel like you don't have anything like that, then I think life can get pretty monotonous. Like, you can't just go to work or go to school, and then you come home and you don't do shit. Fuck, your days are gonna bleed into each other. And don't forget, we've only got so many. That shit is running out. So, fast forward 20 years. Fast forward even 1 year. Are you gonna look back at your time and think, man, I probably should have done anything. Insert anything. If you know that in a year, you think you're going to say, I probably should have been doing this. Or, man, I probably shouldn't have been doing this so much.
I'm single, and I truly know how hard it is to find someone who gets you. So my friend introduced me to this app called Duet, where he found his girl.
Okay, that is not a good feeling to have. Cool quote, but you can't undo time. So, really all I'm trying to say is maybe, well, this is just getting into some basic motivational territory. But find something that you do on a consistent basis. Get good at it. You see that deer? I need a fucking 360 cam on the outside of the car so that whenever I get in front of the fucking car, I can flip to that and show you. But yeah, if you have something that you like, I think you're gonna have more fun in general. That's what I'm trying to say there. So, no more chit chat. Dude, you gotta treat your fucking training like you're out of this world in a goddamn fictional reality. Because if you're approaching this shit with a realistic mindset, I mean, dude, you're only going to get realistic results. And for the most part, I'd say the word realistic is very easily equated with just fucking average. With just fucking mediocre, with a run-of-the-mill, a baseline. Dude, that just fucking sucks. And the reason I say that is because, I mean, the working out, I think everybody should have one specific thing, or maybe a couple of things, you know, whatever, but at least one where you can really dive into it, you're working hard at it because you like it and you're getting good at it. Like, specific proficiencies don't only, like, make you really good at that one thing. The action of fucking, you know, developing skills, regardless of what they are, it translates into your approach to everything else and just makes you a cooler fucking guy. You know, I mean, how many dudes do you know where their most fucking deep knowledge is like what has the cheapest, like bulk bubblegum juice, right? I mean, I'm not gonna say that's maybe worthless information, but I'd rather know a little bit more about the training. But not to get off topic here, everybody needs something like that. So whatever it is, whatever that is, you know, dive into it head first. No holds barred, go nuts. But with the training, or with anything physical to do with your body, that's not something which you can walk into the same way that you do anything else. I mean, there's a certain, like, just energy, because you're being physical. Like, anybody can just grab a few weights, or put 2 plates in a Smith machine, and, like, do a couple of reps of squats, and whatever, you know, maybe you'll get some minor fucking hypertrophy-induced muscle fatigue from doing, like, an RPE 1 set. So RPE, rate of perceived. Dude, I bet my blood sugar is low from legs. Rate of perceived exertion. That's a pretty standard sort of way to gauge a set. 10 means you maxed out. 0 means you didn't fucking try at all. And I think there's a lot of fucking sets out there that are below a 3. Like, just going through the motions, whatever. To expect any gains like that, I would say, is fucking beyond foolish. Now, I think the guys who are doing sets like that, they might not admit it, and maybe even deep down, and they don't necessarily know it consciously, but they don't fucking want it. They do not want it. So, that's where when it comes to your actual sets, and this does not have to be the whole fucking workout. You know, in between sets, if I walk up to the front desk to get some water, I mean, I'm gonna be fucking goofing around like a goddamn Discord comedian, right? Like, I'm talking, go up to the front desk guy and say, hey, can I check the lost and found? I'm looking for my Jelker. Like, just say some stupid shit, whatever. But I don't want to let that take away from the seriousness of the set-by-set work that's actually being done. So, you know, regardless of whatever kind of goofing or talking or just chilling that you're doing, when it comes to each of your working sets, dude, you have got to go nuts. I'm talking no outside thoughts. Like, I don't even think, I was definitely not thinking words when I was doing those squats and those sets of hip press. There were no tangible words or cohesive thoughts in my mind. All it was like, like, you know how you can hear your own thoughts when you think words, right? I was thinking like just a fucking goddamn roar, like just, you know. And the reason why I say that is because you just can't do a set to the fucking level of exertion that's necessary for serious gains with a perfectly level and calm approach. I think to even try to do that is just an undermining of the fucking underlying situation that lifting is. The harder you go, the better gains you'll fucking get. And, you know, like most things, the more gains you want, the harder it's going to be to get them, the less people will want to actually fucking do it.
I'm here at Stoke Ski and Goose Creek, where we make it easy for you with a smooth
You know, how far are you thinking ahead in terms of what you're actually fucking capable of? You know, and I feel like in any crazy fucking endeavor, if you were to look at somebody and think like, oh man, would I be able to do what that guy's doing? Fuck. Typically, what somebody's gonna say is like, oh, I don't know if I've got I don't know if I've got the hand-eye coordination for something like that, or like, oh, I'm not really a numbers kind of guy, or whatever. It's like anybody that's doing anything crazy cool compared to somebody who's never done it before, 99 times out of 10, the guy watching is kind of gonna attribute somebody else's success to just like random ass fucking, you know, I don't know how to say it. Just random ass, uncontrollable circumstance and luck. You know, I mean that's pretty classic, right? Nobody's gonna look at somebody who's fucking shredding on the guitar in front of 100,000 people on stage and think, wow, that guy must practice a lot. That guy must really put a lot of time into that. They're just gonna think, holy fuck, that guy's fucking, I could never do that. And that's kind of a cheat code. The fact that that's the case, I think, is kind of a cheat code to get yourself hyped up. Because it's just not the right way to go. Right? Looking at somebody in their end state compared to you in your beginner state is the craziest fucking thing you could ever do in the world. And now, sure, it can give you something to kind of aim towards, but that, you know, that's crazy stuff. So
Okay, I need a fucking cave, alright?
In any field, right? In any field, I mean, when we see the statistics where it's like a TikTok post and it's like only 1% of people in the entire world can bench 315. Are you gonna join the 1%? And just, you know, random silly shit like that. And that's not silly, but yeah, sure. Like, even if that statistic is correct, it's not the whole story. That's not the whole fucking story. You know, if you were to actually get a much more accurate sort of view of the situation, sure. Well, whatever. And this number's probably not true, but let's just play along with it. Let's say 1% of the world can bench 315. I'm not saying that's the point of anything, but let's follow me here. Maybe that's true. What percentage of the world are even trying? 10? Maybe 10? And then, what percent of the world are even trying and actually putting like a real effort into it? You know, what, cut that number down to 5, cut that number down to 3. And then what percentage of guys are actually interested in locking in for more than 6 months at a time and actually going to lock into their diet and actually care about their training and make adjustments and consistently fucking push it on the regular probably comes down to 1%. The guys with results are not just magically the guys with results drawn out of the fucking hat. It's the guys who have put in the amount of time necessary to get those results. And the whole point of what I was just saying there was like, well, how many people are even trying? It's like, okay, these guys are actually trying. These guys are actually trying hard. And this small percentage is actually doing everything that they can and optimizing every little bit of their routine to make sure that they're on track to whatever their given goal is. That percentage is so small. So when I look at that and when I think about things like that, all that's telling me is, okay, the more fucking locked in I can get, and the more little aspects of everything else that I can improve upon and consistently meet the requirements of day after day after day, it's no longer a question of if. And this is what I like about working out so much, is it's barely a fucking skill issue. It's barely like, oh, I don't have the talent for, you know, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, there's fucking prodigies out there. You know, there's guys where they're gonna fucking pick up a basketball and 2 years later, they're, you know, getting college offers, or, you know, random shit like that. We've all kind of heard the stories. But for the other 99% of the world, I'm not joking. Anybody who does anything fucking cool did everything that it took to get there. It comes with this. You need to have a shift in your perception of yourself in terms of, you know, what you can handle, what you can manage, what you really want to do, and, you know, really convince yourself that you can do it. I'm not trying to say if you just convince yourself hard enough that you're gonna, you know, get accepted to Yale and become a rocket scientist. But odds are, if that's your shit, and you spend days upon days and hours of working towards something, definitely not fucking possible. You know, because when you look at any percentage of, you know, it's like, what percentage of lifters can bench 315? Or, you know, what percentage of people in the world can squat 400 pounds? Or whatever. You know, what percentage of people can run a marathon? You know, who knows? That's just, that percentage includes people who aren't even fucking trying. So if it's a 0.1% of people in the whole world who can bench 315, cool, I mean, that's just a number. 99% of people don't even give a shit, they're not even trying. So then, okay, 10%, let's cut it down now. So 10% of people who are actually kind of trying and going to the gym can bench 315. And this isn't an exact stat, I'm just using it as an example. Right? If you kind of narrow that down and you narrow it down continually, then you get to a point where it's, you know, 80% of people who train for X amount of years, count their macros, actively bulk and maintain a weight gain, you know, protocol, you know, go through periods of, the percentage is just going to fucking rise. You know, the percentage of people who can get to a 315 bench or, you know, get any accolade of anything, that percentage goes to 100 fucking percent when you only include the people who seriously want it and are doing everything they can do in their fucking power to get it on a consistent basis, right? So that's where it's pretty much just within your own fucking control, man. If I wanted to drop everything and try my damnedest to become an Olympic level archer, I'm not going to say I have very good odds in general, but how many people are even going for it? How many people could do that for hours and hours, year after year, continually, right? I don't think it's out of the question, you know? I think if I wanted to make that my shit and I could practice it for like 3 hours every day for the next few years, I think it could be feasible, you know? Now, of course, there's uncertainties, right? There are guys who fucking, you know, are seriously working harder than somebody else but don't get the same end results. But if they didn't try at all, then they get absolutely fucking nowhere. So, you know, think when I hear guys thinking about like, oh, well, you know, I don't really have a massive appetite, or like I don't have really good tricep insertions, or like, you know, my genetics, you know, everybody in my family, they all look this way, you know, they call me weird for doing. Look, there's going to be some backlash. There's going to be some drag as you fucking climb your way through trying to get something serious done. Right? Look at everybody in my family was looking at me like a freak when I was 16 years old thinking I was eating sardines because I wanted to get like seriously high quality protein intake and tons of omega-3 and like the creatine and like all the nutrients and whatever else. It's not there's not much mass celebration of effort once you are beyond the age of fucking 10 years old, right? If you got a 10-year-old kid playing baseball, everybody is cheering his ass off to go to practice, and they love it when he's fucking out of competition, But I think, I don't know, I'm not necessarily as old as somebody who would probably say this, but at some point you kind of have to grow up, How many guys want to, sit in a room and practice guitar for thousands of hours and then, like, be seriously fucking skilled? How many guys are sitting outside of class or whatever, coding to the point where they're now, like, receiving high six-figure, like, coding offers and going to, like, worldwide national level coding championships and killing it? And that's not just a random fucking situation. One of my friend's brothers is he's kind of doing that sort of stuff, and that's fucking insane, And with everything, the crazier shit that you want to do, like I was saying at the beginning, requires the most fucking time and energy on the back end, which will actually fucking add up. Until you, if you're at the beach and you want a badass fucking hole in the sand, which, for my 4% female audience, you might not get it. It's only guys out there. No explanation needed. It's not just gonna happen, man. You gotta start scooping. So, even though each scoop, it's not really, you wouldn't notice much if you do one scoop versus two versus three. But by the time you go to 100, you need to fucking 3 guys in there, So, I can't overstate it. I cannot overstate it that your effort on a systematic basis has one of the strongest relations to your end goal gains. And I know that might sound like I'm taking food and diet and recovery out of the situation, but if you're actually serious about making your workouts insane and trying to optimize every facet of your fucking training, recovery, diet, sleep, then those things will just fall into place. Because if one of your highest priorities for your workouts is making them as good as possible, then underneath that pinnacle point goal is a few key factors, right? I want to be well rested. I want to be well fucking hydrated. I do not want to have an exertion headache because I don't have enough fluids in my system and my brain is either like swelling or shrinking. Like that's kind of the cause of all that sort of stuff, just from having a fluid imbalance. I want to be well fed so I can actually fucking fuel this workout as well as the recovery outside of the gym so I can come back the next day and make it happen. Okay, if I want all those 3 things to be good, then let's back up. And then each of those has its own individual fucking actions to take to make it happen. If I want to get a nice rest, maybe I'm not going to stay up on Discord until 3 a.m. and then wake up totally underslept, have to go do whatever. Either do cardio with no sleep, or maybe sleep a little bit more. I'm not going to sit around and just drink like one monster before I do my cardio in the morning, and then nothing else. I'm going to drink my pre-workout, and then suddenly have to say, I don't really feel very pumped. It's like, my joints feel so stiff. Or one of the worst case scenarios, which I see the most, is guys where they just don't eat enough fucking food. You're not eating enough and giving yourself enough energy to recover. So even if you are training like reasonably hard within a hypertrophic kind of level of intensity, you're not fueling yourself up enough to be able to come back and keep that up in a way that's going to actually progress you further. It's not hard to stay the exact same level as a lifter. It's actually pretty fucking easy. There's just a couple of extra steps, diet, sleep, training, where if you just improve them marginally over time, it's going to pay dividends, So not to really get so personal, or not to get so like nitpicky and kind of targetish, but when I see guys doing scrappy sets, and especially when this really gets me the most. I'm not going to get mad at my phone, but just the idea that there's guys out there where they're saying they're training hard, they're saying they're eating enough food, they're saying they're locking in, but there's no easier way to put it than they're just lying. And, the social media side of things, you're just lying, watching you even worse than that, you're lying to itself. I mean, you're not going to say that every fucking day and not at some subconscious level believe it. Because, I mean, that's just going to turn you into a fucking schmuck. If I constantly told myself it's like, oh, I'm eating all my meals, I'm training hard, man, I'm getting enough sleep, I'm drinking all my water, I don't know why I'm making any gains. If you keep feeding that little narrative to yourself over and over and over again, then eventually you're going to completely believe it. You know, I'm talking like CIA sort of mind control situations. And if you hear enough the same statement just over and over and over again, it's going to just become your reality. And then there's no chance that you're suddenly going to fucking break that pattern and start to say, it's like, okay, maybe I need to change something. It's like there's a certain amount of accountability that you need to have for your own gains